This is one of those videos that you never really expect to record or even to have like pop up in your mind. And it's one of those things where you just think it's never going to happen, that some people on this planet will just live forever. And in a sense, I guess the legacy that Akira Toriyama left behind with Dragon Ball and all of his creations will live forever. And one of my friends said that it's really weird how someone that lived such a private life could be so influential. And Akira Toriyama was such an influential figure. I didn't, think I was going to make a video like this, so I haven't really prepared anything in my head, so I'm sort of just rattling off the top of my head. But Akira Toriyama was such a massive part of my childhood and was really one of the main reasons why I got into the gym and why I started taking martial arts up and why I wanted to be fit and strong, is really because of the influence of Dragon Ball. I remember being a kid and seeing Goku go into Namek and seeing him train to get ready to fight the Ginyu Force and Frieza and all of the soldiers that were on the planet. And I remember seeing him push himself and just being like, I want to do that. Like, I want to go to the gym and feel like I can not even move. I've got nothing left. And I remember seeing Vegeta train his ass off to try and catch up to Goku. And it had such a massive impact on me. And it's just sad to know that basically the father of modern anime, so to speak, because anime's been around for a long time, but the anime we have today, I think it's safe to say that it was deeply influenced by Akira Toriyama and the Dragon Ball creation. I think that what Toriyama's left behind, it will never be recreated. Someone will take over Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball's too big to just be left on the wayside now. There's so many things in the works for it that his work is always going to be there for us to appreciate. But to die at the age of 68 years old is pretty sad. Apparently he died of acute subdural hematoma. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I don't actually know what that is. It sounds like something to do with the heart. I didn't know that obviously he had issues. I don't know what causes that. Apparently he died on the 1st of March, so we've only just found out now. It's been about a week. And it's really weird because I was sitting here talking with my friends about Sparking Zero just the other night, saying that where would we be right now? Or how would our mentalities be without Dragon Ball? Or how would the world of anime look without Dragon Ball? It's not even something I can really imagine. It was such a massive part of anime in the 90s and early 2000s, and then to see Dragon Ball come back in the way it did with Dragon Ball Super and just sort of explode, it was like being a kid again. I remember every Sunday I would be up early, like I couldn't even open my eyes in time, and I'm a grown man, used to come home from school, and in the UK we've got Toonami, and I would watch Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT on Toonami. But when Dragon Ball Super came out, obviously we've got Crunchyroll, and we got Funimation and all these other websites where you can watch anime, and I would wake up every morning super excited to switch on Dragon Ball and watch it before all of my friends, to go into the group chats and be like, oh, have you guys seen Dragon Ball? It was like being a kid again. And that is the kind of response I think only something like Dragon Ball can elicit. And I'm hoping that Super comes back, because I know the manga has gone forward and there's a lot more stories to tell. And I know we've got the new Dragon Ball Magic, I believe it's called, which it's not, I don't think anybody was expecting or even asked for it, but I'm gonna watch it because it's Dragon Ball and I watch everything Dragon Ball related. I went to the cinema not too long ago with my friends to watch the Dragon Ball superhero film, and even Dragon Ball Super Broly, which I've got on Blu-ray. Absolutely incredible film. And there's so many memories that Akira Toriyama has left behind in this anime. I was literally just watching the end of Dragon Ball GT when he sort of flies off into the distance. But Manga has they owe him so much. I believe he got involved with manga at the age of 23, and he was signed to the Weekly Shonen Jump. And I believe Akira Toriyama initially wanted to do comedy, or Dragon Ball kind of did start off as a bit of a comedy thing. It was martial arts, it was grounded in martial arts, but it was definitely comedic, and it sort of evolved into this high octane, super intense fighting anime. But you could definitely see the comedic side of Dragon Ball still in there even as things went on, and it just exploded in popularity. He's obviously responsible for other projects within the anime world, but Dragon Ball is really the one where it just propelled his life into superstardom. He is immortalized now people will always recognize his name and recognize his work. I believe there was like 519 chapters of Dragon Ball. It's something that I've just started collecting as well. I wanted to start collecting the mangas, so I've collected a couple of issues. It's something that I want to continue doing in the future. But even the animes that I watched today, like One Piece, you can see the influence from Dragon Ball in One Piece. Even the way the main characters are designed, they've all kind of got something about Goku in them, whether it's the abundance of food that they want to eat or the way they carry themselves. And I think that it's going to be, I think it'll probably be a lot to digest for some people, because he was such a massive part of people's lives. I woke up in the morning and I saw the messages and I couldn't believe it. Like, I stopped for a second and I was like, this must be some sort of joke. Like, you know when they put up those stupid jokes about certain celebrities dying and you're like, don't do that, it's not funny. But obviously it wasn't a joke. He is very much gone. And it's a shame again, because he was 68 years old. 68 years old is not old in this day and age, you know. Like, people live well beyond that. And I just, wanted to say that I'm sorry to his family if he left any behind. Sorry to anyone that is related to him. It sucks for all of us, but it must suck even more for them, obviously, because, he's their family. Dragon Ball's going to live on forever. It's always been a big part of my life. It's always going to be something I'm invested in. There's always going to be new Dragon Ball games going on. I've got so many Dragon Ball clothes. I think Dragon Ball is the abundance of my clothes. I've got Dragon Ball socks. If you guys saw my room, there's Dragon Ball figurines everywhere. So yeah, to say it's not a massive part of my life would be an understatement. And again, part of the reason I'm in good shape, part of the reason why I'm so dedicated to the gym and dedicated to being healthy is because I grew up watching Goku and Vegeta basically slaughter each other and trying to one-up each other. And I think that Dragon Ball really did leave a positive message behind. I think that it instills a good value system in young men. I know that obviously women watch it as well, but when I was growing up in the 90s, it was really predominantly watched by men. That was my experience of it anyway. And I formed friendships through Dragon Ball. I've got like long lasting bonds through Dragon Ball. Even my like for Japanese music, so I love Japanese rock or Japanese pop. A lot of that started with Dragon Ball. A lot of that started when I watched the English dub of it, and then obviously when I went over to watch the Japanese dub to experience it in its original form, I got exposed to Japanese music and never really looked back. A lot of my playlists are just full of anime songs. I'm not going to make this video too much longer, I'm kind of just rattling off my thoughts, but you can see Dragon Ball's influence everywhere. Anytime you see someone like power it up and you see energy going around them, you know that person probably watched Dragon Ball and they inserted a bit of it into their show or whatever it was that they're doing. And it's nice to see that there's other people paying tributes to him. I saw that a prominent Japanese author and game designer Yuji Horii, who is a longtime friend of Akira Toriyama, was saying that he can't believe he's gone. The creator of One Piece, Oda, was saying that he never thought he never thought he'd see this. Much like a lot of us. I can expect to see a lot of tributes to Dragon Ball in a lot of animes coming up, and I expect Shonen Jump is probably going to pay a lot of tribute to him because they owe a lot to him. They owe a lot to Akira Toriyama and his work. And I think shows like Dragon Ball are really important because they preach this like never give up mentality. And part of the reason why I believe some of the things that I do, I have Dragon Ball to thank. Never backing down, stand up for what you believe in, always giving your best. If you've got the power to do something, you should help people. And even the way they write characters, like the way Vegeta was written, who was very cold-hearted, basically a space terrorist, and to see how he changed his life around and when he sacrificed himself for his family. When you're watching it at the time, you probably don't realize, but there's a lot of profound messaging in the way they portray the characters, and you can see that in other animes as well and how it's influenced other animes. I mean, the Goku and the Vegeta archetypes are seen everywhere, but it instilled a lot of important things in me, I think, and it's something that like I can't change about me now. Like I could change, but I don't want to. But it's like it's so instilled in me. Like it's to be like Goku or be like Vegeta and like be a strong man and protect those around you and speak your mind and stand up for what you believe in. Those lessons all sort of came from Dragon Ball. And again, it's not something that we realize at the time until you can sit back and really appreciate it. But it is very important, and I think there's not enough kids shows these days that really teach those things. And I know Dragon Ball kind of is like it's a kids show, but it's also a bit adult because you know it can be violent, but they also have a lot of themes in there that I think is good to show to children. And I watched it as a kid, and I turned out fine mostly. Yeah, that's it really, guys. Just wanted to put my thoughts out there. It's very sad news. It's not the kind of video I wanted to record, or not the kind of video I thought I would be recording. And usually when it comes to celebrities, I mean, if you've ever been to my other channel, Midnight Rubbish, you know I'm very much like, I don't care about celebrities and all that. But Akira Toriyama really had a profound effect on my life, my friends' lives, and so many people around me. And I know probably some people watching this as well. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Have a good day. Take care and peace.